in this video, I'm going to be going over every single player that got selected in the draft that, in my opinion, is a draft steal. So basically what that means is any player that I thought maybe would have gone higher or potentially has better talent and is just overall a better player than where they actually got drafted. So hopefully that's pretty self-explanatory. So let's say, for example, a top 5 player in the draft went in the 2nd round. That's a steal for the team that ended up drafting that player. So basically, I have a couple players that I think were draft steals. So let's get into the first player. So first player that I want to be going over is Quandre Mitchell. Now, Quandre Mitchell, in my opinion, is the best corner in this 2024 NFL draft class. But the thing is I know he did get drafted in the 1st round, so it's not that big of a steal. But if you really look at where he was supposed to go, he was supposed to be a top 15, maybe top 12 pick. I saw a lot of people maybe even project him as the 8th pick to the Atlanta Falcons. So the fact that he went to 22 was pretty wild, and the main reason for that is because the amount of offensive players that got drafted in the 1st round. I mean, there is a ton of just super crazy amount of offensive players that got drafted in the top end of the 1st round, and then towards the end of the 1st round, we started to see a really big part of the late round being just straight defensive players. So that's kind of my opinion on Quandre Mitchell. He was supposed to be higher than where he did get drafted. I think it's a steal for the Eagles, and the fact that they got, in my opinion, the best corner in this draft at pick 22 is pretty good. But again, that has to do with how many offensive players got drafted in the 1st round, which we didn't expect. We did not expect that many 1st round offensive players, and we ended up getting it. But yeah, Quandre Mitchell, super good. I know he went to Toledo, but even when he was at the Senior Bowl, trying to lock down some other wide receivers that, went to actual really good schools, he was able to lock them down. So Quandre Mitchell, not only that, but also if you look at his combine stuff, he did very well. Very athletic, super lengthy corner. I think he's going to be really good in the NFL, and he's going to be a perfect fit on that Eagles defense. So the next pick that I think is a kind of a pretty good steal, I'm not gonna lie, is Nate Wiggins. So another DB, and this is a very interesting pick because he got drafted 30th overall when a lot of people were projecting him to also be potentially a top 15 pick. And, a lot of people coming into this draft thought that Nate Wiggins was, potentially the best corner. Now, in my opinion, it's Quandre Mitchell, then Terrion Arnold, and then Nate Wiggins. But the fact that they got Nate Wiggins almost in the 2nd round is actually pretty insane. Now, there's a few reasons why he fell this far down. The main reason is, like I said, a lot of offensive players got drafted super early. But the second thing is Nate Wiggins, if you really look at him, he's really not that good of a tackler. He's super skinny. He definitely needs to gain at least 10 pounds. But basically, he's not a good tackler. And he has issues in the run game. He just gets swallowed up by these defenders. He can't, tackle well. He can't hit extremely hard. He gets kind of lost in the run game. And he also, pulled I believe his hamstring during the combine. Now, I don't really think that has a big deal to why he got, drafted kind of later in the 1st round when he should have been a top 15 pick. But, a combination of all those things definitely makes him fall down. And I wouldn't say he's the best corner in the class, but he's definitely a top 3 corner. And the fact that you got a player like Nate Wiggins in the 1st round, late 1st round, is really good by the Ravens. I think he's going to do really good on the Ravens. I mean, the Ravens have, I believe they still have Marcus Peters. They still have Marlon Humphrey. And then now you guys add Nate Wiggins into that secondary. That's obviously not including the safeties that they have. Kyle Hamilton, Marcus Williams. The Ravens secondary is looking absolutely insane. I mean, their corners plus their safeties is just off. It's crazy. They're going to do really good this year. But yeah, Nate Wiggins, he definitely fell. There is some concerns about how he doesn't weigh a lot. His arms aren't even that long to what we might have thought they were going to be. He's not good in the run game. He can't tackle well. Those are all concerns, but just looking at him and pure coverage ability and speed, he's got it. He is really good. The next player I'm going to be going over is Lad McConkey. So this was a player that I thought he was going to go late 1st round, potentially to the Chiefs, which was a possibility. I ended up having the Chiefs going with Xavier Worthy, which they ended up doing in real life. But Lad McConkey, in my opinion, I'd take Lad McConkey actually over Xavier Worthy. I think Lad McConkey is really good. I know he's white. I really don't care about that at all. He's actually really fast. This guy ran in the 4.4s. And yeah, he's really good. And usually stigma is, you know, wide receiver, he plays slot. This guy can actually play outside. Like, he can actually play X and in the X position, for example. This guy is really good. He's decently fast, right? He ran in the 4.4s. He's fast. And he can really catch the ball. And he's just a playmaker. That's all I got to say. And the fact that the Chargers got him in the second round is actually insane. But I think one of the main reasons for that is because there was like 2 other wide receivers that got drafted ahead of him that should not have gotten drafted ahead of him. Xavier Legette and Ricky Pearsall. Those were 2 guys that should have not been drafted higher than Ladislav Makoni. So if it wasn't for the Panthers and the Niners kind of screwing up at those wide receiver positions, Ladislav Makoni could have easily gone to the Panthers. He could have gone to the Bills, for example, he definitely could have gone to the Niners if the Niners did end up picking a wide receiver, which they did. But it's just interesting that he did fall in the second round. I think he's going to be extremely good in the NFL. And when you pair him up with Justin Herbert, yeah, Ladislav Makoni, he's going to do good. I wouldn't be surprised if he at least gets maybe 800 receiving yards, maybe 5 touchdowns. I think Ladislav Makoni is going to do really good in the NFL. And pairing him up with a really good quarterback is definitely going to help out his case. So I think that was an extremely good pick by the Los Angeles Chargers. Next pick is Cooper DeJean. So this guy in college, not only did he return kicks and punts, which is absolutely amazing, but he also played corner. And in the NFL, he can play corner, but he can also play safety as well. I'd put him at corner if I was the Eagles, which they're probably not going to do. But yeah, Cooper DeJean, he basically fell because I believe he broke his leg at some point last year. So anytime a player has that serious of an injury, they're going to fall, unfortunately. And not only did he have a super big leg injury, but you know, the fact that there's just so many other extremely good corners on top of Cooper DeJean, it is going to lower the stock of him a little bit because there's just so many good players and you can't get every good corner in the first round. It's just not possible considering how many offensive players got drafted early on in the first round from basically pick 1 to pick 20 was really the case. But yeah, Cooper DeJean, he's really good. I think that he did end up falling also because of the fact that teams are probably going to view him as a safety because he is a really good tackler, unlike Nate Wiggins. This guy can actually lay the wood. He can tackle extremely well. He's really good in the run game. And he's just overall an extremely good player. I mean, I don't see anything that he can't do. He can even return kicks, which is honestly insane. But yeah, I think he's going to be really, really good on the Eagles. I would not be surprised if he potentially wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. Would not be surprised at all if they move him to safety. Unfortunately, I do want to see him play corner, but they're probably going to move him to safety because at safety, you don't have to really rely on the speed, and you being a good safety also has to require good tackling and good hit power, and that's what Cooper DeJean has. He has extremely good tackling. He's definitely the best tackling corner in this draft. And yeah, he's definitely going to do good on the Eagles. The fact that the Eagles got Cooper DeJean and Quandre Mitchell is nasty. It's going to be nasty. They still have, you know, Darius Slay, which is getting a little older. The next pick that I'm going to be going over is Adonai Mitchell out of Texas. Now, there is some main reasons why he did drop, which I don't really agree with that much. But yeah, Adonai Mitchell was supposed to be a surefire first round pick, but the fact that, you know, some teams missed on the wide receiver position, in my opinion, they reached. Adonai Mitchell ends up falling, but it's not mainly because of that. It also has to do with supposedly he said during the combine that he doesn't put in maximum effort on every play. He said he puts 80% on most of the plays so that he can be out there the whole entire drive. Well, you don't want to say that. You really do not want to say that. You want to say that you're putting all effort, because then now teams are going to think that he's just going to dog it every play when he's not in the play call. When he knows that he's not going to get the ball, he's not going to put in maximum effort, which is not good. You want someone that is going to put in, you know, the maximum amount of effort that they can. And the fact that he said that is not a good look, but it's not only that, but apparently he has diabetes, which for me, I don't care that he has diabetes, but a lot of people who are idiots are saying that because he has diabetes, he fell. That's not the case. That's not why he fell, but people are just trying to be dumb. But yeah, so basically Adonai Mitchell, I think he's going to be really good in the NFL. One of the most fluid route runners in this draft. He's definitely one of the most fluid route runners. He ran extremely fast for his size. He's like 6'2", and he ran in the 4.3s. You know, just basing it off of athleticism and height. I mean, he's going to be really good on the Colts, especially pairing him up with Michael Pittman on the other side of the field. And then you'll have Josh Downs playing in the slot. You'll have Anthony Richardson throwing you the ball. Adonai Mitchell can easily do really good on the offense. He just needs to put maximum effort, and he needs to, you know, give it his all every play, because you can't be dogging it if you know you're not going to get the ball, which, you know, he's definitely not going to be getting the ball every play, considering that their number one option is Michael Pittman on the other side of the scrimmage. So yeah, honestly, I think Adonai Mitchell is really good. Unfortunately, he did fall, but is what it is. Not every wide receiver is going to get taken, you know, in the first round, so it is what it is there. But yeah, I mean, Adonai Mitchell, super good. Fortunately, he fell, is what it is, but definitely really good combine. The last player that we're going to be going over is Troy Franklin. This guy's absolutely a speedster. He's super fast, and the fact that he was potentially going to be a late first rounder, early second rounder, and he got drafted in the 4th round is insane. I mean, he really fell. He fell like at least a good 60, 70 picks to where everyone thought he would go, right? We all thought he would be a second rounder, maybe late first rounder. So the fact that the Broncos got him in the 4th round is really good. Now, there is some concerns with him, right? He's not the best route runner or best catcher, but I mean, he's just a deep threat. He's basically, you know, just put him on a streak or a crosser, and he'll just burn the defender, basically. He's super fast, and it even showed at the combine. He's definitely very fast. He did do kind of mid on the wide receiving drills, but I think Troy Franklin could do pretty solid in the Broncos, and I'm glad the Broncos were the team that drafted him, because now he's going to be paired up with his Oregon teammate Bo Nix, who was throwing in the ball for the past year or two, I would say. So, yeah, now Troy Franklin has his old QB in the NFL now. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see how Bo Nix and Troy Franklin can actually do on the Broncos. You know, they were teammates, so they already have the build-up. They already have the chemistry. So they already know how each other plays, but now they got to produce it on the field. And I don't know if they're going to be able to do that, because the Broncos are bad. I mean, the Broncos are really, really bad team. And especially now that they lost Jerry Jeudy, Troy Franklin is going to definitely be the second option on that team, because they do have still Cortland Sutton. But yeah, Troy Franklin, he's definitely going to get some targets, I'll tell you that. We'll see how he ends up producing on the Broncos. But anyways, hope you guys did enjoy this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe channel if you guys already haven't. And I'll see you guys in the next video going over probably, should I do my favorite picks of the NFL draft? I'll definitely figure it out, but definitely going to have a lot more videos surrounding the NFL draft in the next coming weeks. Anyways, I'll see you guys then. Bye.